Dr. Imari Jeffries, CEO and President of Embrace Boston. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, so happy to be here.
Awesome. So let's get started by talking about the 60th anniversary of the 1965 Freedom Rally March. I mean, it is an iconic part of Boston's civil rights history. And for the celebration, can you tell us what the plans are?
Yeah, and many people, when they think about Boston and they think about Martin and Coretta, up until recently, most folks would probably say that they are from Alabama or Georgia or somewhere down south. And so Boston has the distinction to be their home of the origin story. And so the Embrace sits on the site of the 1965 Freedom Rally, which was the largest civil rights march during that time period. 20,000 people marched from Carter Field, which is now located on Northeastern's campus near Ruggles T-Stop, to the Parkman Bandstand steps from where the Embrace is located. And so we're so excited to be celebrating this march in the spirit of the 250th. Next year is our country's semi-quincentennial. And when we think about Boston as a city of first, we think about this march and its consequences and significance to our city and our country.
Martin Luther King III is going to be there. He's going to be leading the way along with you. Can you tell us what that symbolizes for the city and the ongoing civil rights movement?
Yeah, we're so fortunate that the King family, who really gave all that they had to justice for our country, sees Boston as one of the places that belongs to them, that this is one of their homes. And so every time we have an opportunity to celebrate or commemorate the work of Martin Luther King Jr. and Coretta Scott King, we're so fortunate to be in community with Martin Luther King III, who, when he heard that we were celebrating and commemorating the 60th anniversary of this important march, decided to come up immediately and be a part of this. And so happy to have him come up. There'll be a couple conversations throughout town where folks can hear him and listen to the work that's happening nationally. But he will be one of the leaders of the march, of the recreation of the march on April 26th. And so excited to have him and his family up with us.
Yeah, that's going to be fantastic and iconic. And I know that something else really exciting is happening during that day. You are naming a certain square, the 1965 Freedom Rally Square. Can you tell us about the significance of that location, why you chose there?
Yeah, Boston is a city that has so many monuments, so many signs that recognize the contributions of people who did great things. And so we know Martin and Coretta came to Boston to go to school. Their origin story started here, but there were plenty of other leaders before the Kings were here, after they left and did national work, that continued to do the work of justice in Boston. Some of those folks are memorialized on the plaza, 1965 Freedom Plaza, which is where the Embrace sits on top of. We also want to honor others by renaming the corner of Boylston Street and Charles 1965 Freedom Rally Square. And so it is where, when the original march came into the common, where the marchers enter the common. And so to be able to name a plaza after tons and tons of Bostonians that continue to do the work of justice, making sure that our city is a city of belonging, is such a great opportunity and honor. And to do it on this weekend feels even additionally special. The next day is Mrs. King's birthday, and so we're surrounded by such significant dates.
Wow, that'll be a very, very special weekend. And I was just thinking, having a memorial square like that, when people walk by it, Boston is such a city full of people who really care about civil rights, I believe. And it will continue to inspire the next generation of people who will stand up and fight for what's right.
The Common is full of incredible public art that memorializes and honors significant champions of our Commonwealth. It is one of America's oldest public parks. And so to have the Embrace on this park designed by Frederick Olmsted near the Shaw 54th Memorial, in the spirit of the other monuments and places that are in the park, feels even more important. And this square being in proximity to that just illuminates how so many important things, and when we think about the founding of our country, started in Massachusetts, started in Boston.
Absolutely. And you said before the route will end at the Embrace. Can you tell us why the Embrace is such a perfect ending to this route, and what does that symbolize for the participants?
But the common is the people's front yard, backyard. It's the people's garden. The public garden is, and it is where the original 1965 Freedom Rally ended. Before that, during the early 1900s, there was a club called the Buddies Club located on where the Embrace is located, and that club, that USO Club for Returning Soldiers, did not allow black soldiers to enter. It was a segregated club, and so to have the Embrace on a plot of land that was segregated, and to have a monument that is about welcome and belonging and community, to be able to end the rally commemoration at the same location where the original rally ended, illuminates the significance and the change that Boston has gone through. There is images and thoughts, and when Mayor Wu was on The Daily Show, this narrative that Boston is this racist, unwelcoming place. I mean, we are the most multicultural, diverse city. We have a diversity council, a woman mayor, a woman governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general. Our leadership in this Commonwealth, our elected leaders, our civic leaders, represent the type of pluralistic, multicultural democracy that America was built on. And so to celebrate the 250 by commemorating the 1965 Freedom Rally illuminates Boston's commitment to justice and diversity.
Absolutely. I always say that Boston is the best city in the country to live in because of the people.
Amen.
The culture, the civic leaders, everything. So thank you so much for joining us, Imari. Can you tell our viewers where they can learn more about Embrace and about the event?
They can find us on embraceboston.org or on Instagram at embraceboss. And the event will start in Copley Square and at 10 o'clock. And the end of the marching route will be around 12. Because we know that a lot of people are going to show up. We know it's a small route. It's about an 18-minute walking route. But with so many people, we know it's going to take a little longer. But come out, 10 o'clock, Copley Square, join us in the march, join us in the dedication of the square, and then join us in the Common at the Embrace.
Absolutely. April 26th, right?
April 26th.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Imari, for joining us today, and I'm really excited for the event.
Always great to be with you. Thank you.